The death of memory. More and more people seem to have less and less focus. It could be caused by social media, a rapidly changing, overstimulating world, toxins, and all the other things I cited in 6 ways people are being made weaker. Beyond that, people's memory seems to be deteriorating rapidly. People both have less short-term memory as well as some form of amnesia that seems to take away their ability to recognize the patterns they learned in history as they resurface in current events. This virus of degraded memory also seems to rob people of their recollection of recent key media reports and angles. What was once an outrage becomes a source of celebration and vice versa. It seems without an ability to remember yesterday's position of one's chosen news guide, people are easily convinced to change their thinking and to support that which has a public history of wrongdoing. Everyone's favorite pharmaceutical company is a great example. With a long history of criminal convictions and massive fines for unethical and illegal activity, you'd think people would be wiser than to hold them as a benevolent savior with no questions asked. That was not the case. Their repeat offenses were not enough to give the public pause on throwing all their eggs into this one basket. Whether it be the notorious self-interest and brazen profiteering of Fraudulent Inc., or a politician with a series of scandals paraded about in their double standards and pathological lies, we seem okay to pretend none of that ever happened. Is it a loss of memory, a craving for suffering, the naivety of irrational hope, cognitive dissonance, or are the masses being hypnotized by the corrupt machine that plays them again and again? One of the most effective tools in eroding memory and deflecting focus off the perpetrators with power is the weapon of distraction. It happens again and again. The next time you hear of something big happening in the news, consider what is not being talked about. Seek out alternative and independent news, citizen journalists, uncensored platforms. You might get an inkling that the thing that has been forgotten, what you are being distracted from, that is the real issue, and the one that the ruling perpetrators don't want you to know. This is not a conspiracy theory. It happens all the time. I wrote 2 articles that showcase this. 1, the distraction at the end of the emergency, and 2, 10 serious matters UFOs are distracting you from. The trap is that the more we allow ourselves to be distracted, the more susceptible we are to being distracted. Distracted is the antithesis to focus. Proper focus builds memory, capacity, and utilization, increases attention span, fosters situational awareness, leads to competency, and so much more. Instead of chasing the next shiny object, double down on what is here and now. Plan, set a goal, break down the steps towards it, and follow through. Focus on what you want and not what they want you to.